You're a little sad. Christmas is over and all those beautiful lights have to come down. There's sort of an understated tastefulness about a porch strung with several hundred blue, green, and red lights. It's a shame you can't leave them up all year, right? While your wife says you're more than welcome to move out and live where people leave up Christmas lights until June, you know that's probably a trap. Good thing Skilhunt understands your fascination with different colored lights. It makes a headlamp so you can take the lights down in the dark because you've wasted daylight watching flashlight videos on YouTube. Skilhunt's new H02C allows you to choose white, red, green, and blue whenever you please, because you're an adult now. Not only will Christmas light enthusiasts be pleased, but so will those sorts of people who use different colored lights for specific real-world purposes instead of just entertainment. Like other Skilhunt lights, the construction of this light is no different in terms of quality. It's covered in an abrasion-resistant Type 3 anodization and constructed out of durable aluminum, with a few stainless steel accents. It uses a Cree XML color LED that's housed behind a light scattering PTIR optic, so the light output is nice and even if you think PTR sounds like a confusing government acronym. The light is versatile in how you can use it. It can be mounted in a headband or used with a lanyard. Surprise! Because it has a magnet in the tail cap, that means you can stick it to ferrous metallic surfaces or erase your credit cards with it. Or you can attach the included clip and use it as a clip light. Inside the box you'll find the light, a manual, a warranty card, a clip, a spare tail cap O-ring, and a spare O-ring that you can use to replace the magnet under the spring in the tail cap. And while the H02C includes a nice headband, it does come packaged separately. Aside from the jokes about Christmas lights, you're probably also watching this video to learn about the color features of the light. Let's start with the white light. It's a cool white output laid out in 4 main brightness levels. All lumens and runtimes are manufacturer rated outputs. And I set the camera to manual so you can see the true differences in output levels, starting with level 4 at 2 lumens for 480 hours, level 3, which is 50 lumens for 12 hours, level 2, which is 140 lumens for 5 hours, and level 1, which runs for 2 hours and 30 minutes at 260 lumens. Then there are the color modes. Red, green, and blue each have 2 mode output levels. Red outputs 620 to 630 nanometers of red light, low as 25 lumens for 15 hours and high as 100 lumens for 3 hours. Next, green is in the 520 to 535 nanometer range, outputting 30 lumens on low for 18 hours, and on high 150 lumens of light for 2.5 hours. Then we have blue in the 450 to 465 nanometer range, so it's not quite ultraviolet. It outputs 5 lumens on low for 18 hours and 30 lumens on high for 2.5 hours. Since there's quite a few choices of light colors and modes, let's go over how you access them with just a single button. It should be noted that this light does not have mode memory at all, so it won't make you feel bad if you put your keys in the refrigerator again. To get to any of the white mode groupings, it's just a quick press from off. To change output levels, just click to scroll through the 4 modes from low to high. Pressing and holding the button for half a second shuts it off. It always starts on low from off because who wants burnt retinas when you first turn on a light? Sounded like I said burnt retinas, huh? Accessing red, green, and blue in high mode can be done in 2 ways. First, you can press and hold the switch from off. It always starts in red, then to green and blue. It scrolls through this in order endlessly until you press and hold it to turn it off, or your hand gets tired. The second way to access the color modes in high can be done while on and using the white mode. Just give it a rapid double click. It is then locked into the red, green, and blue loop until you press and hold to turn it off, or double click it again to go to the white mode level loop, starting in low again. To access any of the lower color modes, you need to double click the light from off. Normal clicks switch between the modes until you press and hold to turn it off. Strobe mode enthusiasts, Skilhunt hasn't forgotten about you. To access any of the hidden white light strobe modes, it takes 2 easy steps. Double click from off to get to the low color mode, and then double click it again to get into the strobe mode loop. The first is SOS, so just give it a second click for the beacon blink if that's the one you prefer. Pressing and holding will turn it off. It should be noted that the light uses PWM, or pulse width modulation, in all lower modes, including white and RGB. It also seems to use it on high in the red mode. I could not detect it in the green, blue, or white. That said, it's a very high frequency PWM, and the only way to notice it was to look directly at the light and move it rapidly. I tested some of the run times in this segment with my camera. Some modes I had to do a time lapse on because of the runtime, and others I just hit record on my camera. For the time lapse videos, I put an alarm clock in the frame so you can observe the time. Otherwise, I just laid a time code down in editing for the non-time lapse videos. White gives you about 2 hours and 17 minutes of constant brightness on level 1 or the highest mode. Red gives you about 3 hours and 54 minutes of runtime on high at a near constant brightness before shutting down. Green gives you about 2 hours and 20 minutes of constant brightness before beginning a slow taper off until it goes dark after about 4 hours and 20 minutes of total runtime. Again, 4 hours and 20 minutes of total runtime. This was done with time lapse. Blue maintains a fairly constant brightness for 2 hours and 20 minutes before beginning a brightness decline and then shutting off at about 3 hours and 52 minutes. This was also time lapse. And finally, white mode on level 3, or the second highest mode, gives you 4 hours of constant brightness before beginning a steady decline and shutting down at about 8 hours and 13 minutes. And here is a Skilhunt H02C compared to a few other headlamps in terms of brightness, including the H02. How about some final observations? You might remember I've reviewed Skilhunt's first entry into the headlamps last year, which is the H02. Or maybe you didn't because keeping up with flashlight reviews isn't really your thing. It was a nice, well-built light, but the modes needed better spacing. Well, on this version of the H02, I can report the lamp has much better mode spacing, and the low mode is quite a bit lower. It's about the same as a Sunwayman D40A on low or an Armitech Wizard Pro on Firefly. While the light doesn't output quite as much light as the H02, it has a very usable high mode that gives you plenty of light for most headlamp-oriented tasks. Considering the number of output modes on all the colors combined, this headlamp is pretty versatile, especially for those outdoorsmen and hunters who can take advantage of the multicolor aspect of this light. Obviously, that's something I can't do. It's built tough, without any fragile, breakable plastic parts, and waterproof to IPX8 standards, which means it can survive drops in shallow pools of water or be used in the rain and elements without worry. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and be sure to check out my other reviews of Skilhunt lights, including the H02 headlamp and the DS10 everyday carry light. The H02C was provided by review from Skilhunt. Thanks for watching.